Hey guys, what's up? It's Tricy and I'm back here at the Till You Collapse warehouse again, and I'm here this time to teach you guys how to squat. So whether you're a beginner, whether you're a pro, I'm gonna break this thing down for you guys in steps so that next time you do it, you'll feel very confident in your form. So the first thing you guys want to do is you want to walk up to your squat rack and set your pins. So for those of you who don't know, the pins are going to be for your own safety. In case you're squatting a weight that you're unsure about and you don't have a spotter, the pins will be there to act as a spotter for you. Now we're ready to approach the bar. Okay, so the first thing that you guys need to consider is your hand placement on the bar. And I recommend your hands being as narrow as possible, but this is going to be different for everybody because we all have a different level of flexibility in our shoulders. Okay, so I would start with a close grip, which is going to be just right outside the middle smooth part in the middle of the bar. Try getting under the bar like that. If that doesn't work, you can spread your hands out just a little bit, but you don't want too wide of a grip. Okay, so as narrow as possible for you. Now we need to talk about bar placement on your back. Okay, so once you decide how much of a grip is as narrow as you can get, now you need to get under the bar. Okay, and most people don't know that there are two different kinds of squat. We have high bar squat, which most of you are probably used to. We also have low bar squat. And literally the only difference between the two is like the name. With high bar squat, the bar is going to be up closer to your neck. With low bar squat, the bar is going to be about 2 to 3 inches lower and more in line with your shoulders. The second difference is going to be the angle of your back. With high bar squats, when you squat down, you are trying to remain as upright as possible. With low bar squats, you will have to allow yourself to lean over during the squat in order to keep the center of gravity over the middle of your foot. Now you guys are ready to stand up and walk out of the rack. Okay, so I want you guys to get in the habit of only taking 2 steps out of the rack, okay? Step back with your left, step back with your right. If your feet are uneven, I want you to literally just squish your feet around until they are even, okay? And real quick, let's talk about feet placement. Instead of your toes being facing forward, I want you to angle your toes slightly outward, okay? So that you guys feel more planted on the ground. And then once you do that, you're ready to take your deep breath. What I do not want you guys to do is I do not want you to get in the habit of taking a million steps out of the rack while you have weight on your back, because it just isn't safe. Now that you have taken the bar out of the rack safely, next, what you need to do before you guys start going down in your squat is you need to take a deep breath and hold it, okay? While you're doing this, I want you to also brace your abs. If you don't know what bracing your abs means, imagine if I told you that I was gonna punch you in the stomach, and then I come back and I do this. What would you do? You would brace your abs, okay? So right when you're taking a deep breath, you're gonna brace your abs, hold that, you're gonna go down, come back up, and you're gonna do the same thing. Take another deep breath, brace your abs again, and you guys need to do that every single time you complete a rep. Now that you guys have taken your deep breath, we're ready to go down into the hole, okay? One important thing you want to remember is instead of coming down in your squat and letting your knees go forward, you want to make your knees go out to the sides as wide as you can, because that will help you achieve good depth in your squat. So now that we know to keep our knees out as wide as we can, we also need to consider our back angle, okay? And depending on if you're doing high bar or low bar squat, that's gonna determine what your back angle will look like. If you guys are doing high bar squat, you wanna maintain as much of an upright angle with your back as possible. If you are doing low bar squat, you need to allow yourself to lean over, okay, in order to keep your weight in the center of your foot. It's very important. When you guys are going down in your squat and you're down in the hole, one thing to consider is your depth. So if you guys are trying to determine what good depth is, I want you guys to walk up to the mirror, turn to the side, and come down into a squat. Then I want you to look at the crease in your hip, and I want you to make sure that that crease is just slightly below parallel to the top of your knee. And that is perfect depth. Once you guys achieve good depth in your squat, you want to drive back up with as much power as you can, because if you drive up hard, it's going to save you energy throughout your set, okay? So when you're driving up though, it's important to remember you want to keep your shins at as much of an angle as you can, okay? So what that means is don't let your knees shoot back too much. You definitely don't want them to become vertical at any point in your squat until you're at almost all the way standing up. If you are doing low bar squat, you also want to remember not to raise your chest too early when coming up from the bottom of the hole. Okay, if you raise your chest too early, you'll most likely hyperextend your back, and now you'll be at risk for injury. Okay, so I always tell people, keep your nipples pointed to the floor. So once you've driven back up to the top, that's pretty much it. You've completed a successful squat, okay? So depending on how many reps you're doing, just make sure that as you continue on through your set, you want to remember to take another deep breath every single rep and repeat all the steps that we just went through every single time. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for us. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and let us know down below in the comments, and I would love to come back here and record another tutorial for you guys in the future. Until then, I'll see y'all next time.